Exclusivity. All right. Well, welcome to another 4C Group podcast where we discuss everything Park City and the Park City lifestyle. This episode, we're going to be focusing on designing culture, luxury with a purpose, more than just a membership, building a legacy. Right. Today's guest is someone who has been instrumental in shaping the luxury lifestyle of Park City, not only through her leadership at Marcella and Promontory, but also through her philanthropic work and community involvement. Please welcome Beth Armstrong.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. This is so wonderful.
So, Beth, you are the managing director at the Marcella Club, and then also you were just telling me some of the other
Right. I'm
promotions.
Managing director of Marcella, and also I'm a vice president for Reef in their lifestyle division, which includes all of the clubs that they own, like Black Desert, Cornerstone in Colorado, Cut Along in Virginia, Sweetens Cove in Tennessee, and Cocoa Palms in Hawaii, and more to come.
So Cocoa Palm. So I had Ryan Karchner on here last week, president of operations.
Golf operations,
all thing golf.
All things, yep.
Yep, we know his history in Park City at Promontory and then moving to Marcella. And I think, he's really leading the direction in golf and what's happening in Park City. Tell us a little bit, well, let's go back to where we first met. I think Promontory, right?
Yes.
That was back in, I'm going to say it was 2006 when I first joined Promontory. You were the membership director.
I was, yeah.
There at the time. And
everybody came through me.
That's something we're going to talk about. Like, as a membership director, part of that role is you're kind of the first contact in all these, in the developments that you're working in for, the new people coming in, new clients, new membership. What kind of describe what that role is? And your history before that was in healthcare, right? Healthcare industry, maybe a little background there, and then kind of maybe tell us how from healthcare you kind of moved into this membership kind of lifestyle role.
20 years ago, my son decided that he wanted to ski race. So he did that for 1 year. And now it's almost 21 years later, we're still here and he's not. So, and he did ski race for 1 year and realized that everybody else had been ski racing since they were 2. And he got here at 11. So he had a little bit of catch up to do, but he ended up being a ski patroller and now, as you know, is a resident in Virginia. But we'll move back and practice medicine here in Utah. When I moved here, there was no hospital. So I went on the board of the soon-to-be hospital, and a friend of mine, when I realized that Roger worked from home and I was with him a lot, that I needed to get out of the house. And so they told me about this job at Promontory. I grew up on a golf course. I hated golf. I didn't even start golfing until I was 45 years old. And so I went out, I talked to him, I met Francis, and we made up a title because there was literally 4 people there. So that's how my career in the golf industry started. Promontory was a little different. And most developments, they start with you coming in and buying the property, and then you come in and see the membership director, which is how you did it. You met with your real estate agent, and then you bought a piece of property, and then you bought a membership that went with it. Or in some cases, back when you joined, they probably had a sponsored membership. So that's the first time that I meet with an owner and prospective member of the club was after the sale. And people would come in and they would, I would just basically lead them through the membership, get all of the documents completed. And then the magic of it wasn't just having it in there. It's then having events and creating. I created the member mixer on Wednesday nights. We started doing skiing with the men's group on Fridays, and Saturday Kids Day, and women's. We used to call it Chicks on Sticks back when I was there, just getting it started. So it really was about creating community. And if you came and told me, oh, we're moving here from Oregon, I would say, oh, we have a member from Oregon, and I would introduce you. And then I would introduce you. We started doing block parties once there was a critical mass. When you came, there was probably 50 houses built, maybe, or 100?
Yeah, maybe.
Because back in 2006, it was still just in that growing process. Now they're on the downside, and there's still probably 150 homes in some form of development there. But I bet now when you go to the restaurant or to the pool, you don't know everybody because they don't do that anymore. And I still now I'm doing it at my new gig, so I do exactly the same thing. For Marcella, we do it just backwards. For the 150 lots that were on the ski and ski out lots on the Deer Valley side of the project, when you met with your real estate agent, you buy your lot and it comes with a sponsored membership. That's kind of the traditional model. Over on the Jordanelle Ridge side, for those other 350 golf memberships, we went ahead and started taking deposits, which put you on the wait list to then, when we release lots, that's the order that you pick your lot. So it was just backwards. And it was remarkable. And I think it was just the best of three things happening. Tiger announced that he was going to design the course. The Olympics announced that they were coming, and Deer Valley announced that they would run the East Village side. It was just three better things could not have happened all at once, which made my job really easy. We have yet to advertise.
Yeah, I would say like that's something, that Marcella has been, it's very unique with Marcella that you were basically able to sell out all the membership slots, right? Without even having, dirt available on the golf side.
Clubhouses.
No clubhouse, no dirt. Obviously we knew Tiger Woods was coming. I would say we didn't even know about the Deer Valley
East Village side.
That was actually happening. That was going to be operated, right? It's going to be operated solely by Deer Valley now as a resort.
Right.
That was unknown. And I think at that time there's 146 ski lots.
There are really 143. I round it to 150 and 350 to make that 500
just make it
number.
Sound good.
Well, just to make it easier for people to get their head around, because then they start doing the math.
I like to be exact. So there were 143
ski lots.
And I think at the time, because we started working with buyers there 2 years ago, and we did not know about the Deer Valley merger, but there was still such excitement about everything that was happening over there. I mean, I think everybody in the industry was pretty amazed on what happened there in that sellout and the price escalation and the values that are coming up. We're already having homes going in over there. And then, like you said, I've never seen it before in a community where you basically sell out all the membership slots before anything happens.
So there were a lot of things happened. We had a reef that had a lot of partners that were involved in other areas that they either the hard money lending or their investment portfolio. So they first reached out to those guys and said, you want to be the first guys in. And they had a wonderful group that came in, and then those guys talked to their friends. And then once Tiger made that announcement on his IG, it was off to the races. The only thing we did do was create a website page that actually you could go in and leave, for more information, an inquiry page. I, since the very first day, have answered every one of the inquiries. I bet I've answered an email to 10,000 people, telling them about, telling them the story. And that's where it really is. When you don't have all of the amenities, you don't have the golf course built, you don't even have a community that can get together and see each other. You just have to be able to tell that story. And I told it over and over and over again. And there was a lot of, they were buying, what they really bought was a hope. Now, it was not a permanent buy-in because at any point they can pull out.
Yep.
And as long as they haven't purchased land, they get back exactly what they paid in. I've had out of 500 golf members, and now we've released our ski membership, which is our elevated social membership. I've already got 12 social members, ski members, and then probably 40 inquiries on those, because that is the only way you get on the wait list to get a golf membership.
Yeah, so currently if you're on the ski side out of the 143 lots, that comes with a full golf membership, which obviously have access to all the ski amenities as well. And then there's 350 more rounded
golf
memberships. And so now, but they're going to have, let's clarify this. On the golf side, there will be more than
523.
Okay, 523 lots
Lots.
with only 350 memberships.
Right.
Is that including the cabins, the developer product, or is that so? That's an
No,
addition?
that's additional. So of those 173 extra lots that don't already have a member waiting to buy them, those are where your ski members are going to go. We want to make sure that everybody that lives behind the gate is part of the club. So you have to be either a ski member or a golf and ski.
Yep. So that kind of brings me to talk about, you came from the Promontory, which was a very successful project, right? I mean, it's a little bigger. Ryan, has history at Promontory. I think a lot of what, obviously over time, I feel like there may have been some frustrations at Promontory. And I think hearing about this new development at Marcella and trying to I guess my question is what did you learn at Promontory, and what are the things that as the developer and you being able to be in there early, that you feel like you've learned these lessons and now we're able to make this even a better experience for the members?
It's especially for golf communities. Ours is more of a hybrid ski and golf community, with ski on the Deer Valley side, golf on the other. So you either love to ski and play golf, or you love to golf and play and ski.
Well, and that's a good point, right? I mean, Marcella is the only true ski and ski out and golf
in Park City.
In Park City, right? 'Cause
Absolutely.
you have the Colony, pure ski.
Yep.
No golf.
Yeah.
You have Promontory and Tuhey that have awesome golf, gated, but you have to travel to a ski lodge. There's
Right.
no ski and ski out properties available.
Right.
Marcella's that only one where they offer fantastic ski and ski out. That's a great option. Or you can be in the gates on the golf side and have still access to all those amenities.
Right. And so I think lessons learned are, don't lose your sense of community. Never do a legacy membership. At least not in the state of Utah.
I believe that, I think at the time when that was released, seemed amazing, right? This generational
Well, you
legacy.
remember when it was released, though. The downturn. That was created in 2010.
Okay.
So the reason was I had 110 people on the resign list for their golf membership dues deposit. So we needed to do something that created some excitement about becoming a member of the club, and giving it away to every single level of your family was obviously a big attraction. So for probably 5, maybe 10 years, they sold legacy memberships. And a legacy membership would be the member, the spouse, their children, their grandchildren, their parents, and their grandparents. 5 levels of membership. And then I know personally in Promontory, there are 3 families that have 40 true members of the club. And they are grandfathered in. You can't take it from them. They signed, legal documents that say, I have a legacy. That's it. And until they leave, that's what they get.
Yep.
Which is great for, like you. You have the membership, your children, their spouses, your grandchildren will all have a membership in that club for as long as you keep that membership.
Yep. But so explain now at Marcella what that distinction is with the
So the distinction
level.
at Marcella is that we have the member, the spouse, and the children under the age of 26. Those are all members of the club. They come and go and play golf as often as they want, and there's no fee for that extra, for playing golf. That is part of your membership for those golf members. Over the age of 26, your brother, your father, your grandfather, they can come and play at the club or be in the club amenities, but they have to be accompanied by you, and they will also pay a $100 fee for a round of golf every time they play.
Seems fair.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people out there that would pay $100 to golf at Marcella. It is fair. And what it also does is it encourages you to then recreate with your family, right? You're not just sending people out. And then I think there's more. They don't have the same ownership that you do. They don't have that same pride in your community. So it keeps bad things from happening. Yeah.
And I agree. I think that's one of the things when you have, this legacy membership and you have somebody that's removed 3 levels and they go out on the golf course, it's not the same.
They're not fixing their divots.
Yeah, you're not.
They're not raking the sand.
Yeah.
What we do encourage, though, is that you do bring your entire family, and your family is welcome to be with you in the Mountain Lodge. Another lesson learned, right size your amenities. So the lodges at Deer Valley for Promontory and at Park City, they're not right size for the size of that membership. Promontory will have, the last I heard, 1,946 members, families, times an average of 4 people. So that's pretty easy math. There's 8,000 possible people that are going to be able, and that's just an average.
So on the 4th of July, Christmas.
2 weeks around Christmas, 2 weeks around 4th, don't go near it because you won't be able to use it. Our mountain lodge is 22,000 square feet. I'm sure you've seen the renderings of it. Beautiful space. The golf clubhouse, 23,000 square feet, beautiful space. We're not building for Easter, but we do think that it's right size for all of the times, and we might be snug, but there, even on those really pressure points, we'll be able to accommodate everybody.
Well, I mean, as a developer, I think it's almost impossible to say, hey, if everybody comes all at once, it's going to be amazing. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's a hard thing to promise to members. But I think, a lot of big changes happen in Park City. So when Promontory was first opened, that was seen as a second home community, right? It was
supposed to only have 25% full-time residents.
And then you've seen, everybody.
Well, COVID, everything changed.
Everything's changed.
Yeah,
and
now it's 25% part-timers.
Yeah, so full-time. And I think that's been one of the issues over there in that development. In Marcella, what do you guys feel is that expectation for, this is people, second home, primary residence, third house? What do you feel like? I mean, you're in contact with all the members out of the gate. What do you feel like that?
The ski and ski outside, probably 3 people that'll live there full time, right? So it's 99%, let's say, of part-time. When we get everything built on the golf course side, I think it'll be closer to 30% that live there year round, and everybody else will just come in and go. We have a lot of people that will be coming in back and forth from Salt Lake and from the Valley. Not a lot, maybe 25% of all of our members will be the people coming from Salt Lake. Everybody else comes from around the country, and then we'll have those, 50 or so that live there full time, which you need, because you need the people in the gyms and in all of your spaces, so it doesn't feel like you're,
Well, you still need to have that sense of community.
You do,
and that's important.
For sure.
And I think one thing that's interesting, and I think the dynamic at Marcella, because you do have the on-mountain ski and ski out, is what I've seen from us at the 4C group. We design and build all these luxury homes. Is it does seem like a lot of the ski and ski out homes, those are the ones that get used 3, 4, 5 weeks a year.
Yeah.
People aren't living in there full time. There's been a huge transition to people wanting to come to Park City for the summer season, the golf season, right? Which I think,
coming from Arizona and Florida and Dallas and Houston.
15 years ago, that was not really the case. And so I think you're seeing people actually come here for the summer from those areas, like you say, Texas, Florida, Arizona, and those guys are living here 5-6 months a year. And so that's a whole different dynamic too, which I think that's what, why you can have a healthy golf club.
Yeah, we also have there's a significant number of people coming from California, and they do the 6 months in 1 day that you have to live somewhere to call it your permanent residence. And so we have a lot of people that are there 6 or 7 months, just to make sure they qualify as permanent residents of Utah, because our tax structure is a little bit better than some of the other states that they're coming from. Certainly not Texas or Arizona or Florida, because there's no state sales tax. So it makes
those guys are only here for 179 days a year.
They're just waiting for it to not be 120 in Scottsdale.
So from your view, how do you build culture from the ground up in a new community like Marcella? Like, I think that's something that people are looking for, is what's going to be the culture and who are these people? You on the front lines, how do you think that's going to facilitate? And we're going to see that get built in the Marcella development.
I think it's all about lifestyle. I really do. And we always talk about it. It's like elegance without pretense. We want it to be very elevated in the offerings, which is why we bring in people like 4C Group to come and assist us with Yes, exactly.
We got questions about that, so don't worry.
So I think it's a lot about that elevated lifestyle, but we don't want to be a stuffy country club. That's just not who we are. There's not going to be a lot of rules about what you wear on the golf course or if you can wear a hat in the restaurant. And we pretty much are going to let the members police themselves.
Yep.
We have the no asshole rule.
Yep, I like that. That's everybody's favorite rule, right?
It is everybody's favorite rule because there's two reasons you have it. It really does erode your community from the inside, but it also keeps your employees from wanting to be there, and employees are like gold right now. You need to satisfy your employees and make sure they're happy and treated well. And I think if we do that, we're going to have people that will work for Marcella for years because of everything that we do for our employee as Reef.
Yep.
I think the most important thing beyond making sure that your employees are happy and that you feel that sense of community and you don't have one or two bad actors can completely change. And I know because I've seen it at Promontory, I've seen it at Glenwild. I know what happens.
I mean, I think that happens at every, private club. And to me, the no asshole rule kind of is like, hey, everybody's here to have fun. Everybody, everybody's been successful. As I would say, you've won. You won life.
Won.
If you're here, you've won life. You're good.
Yeah.
So do what you want to do, but be respectful. As long as what you want to do doesn't affect the happiness and enjoyment of the other members.
Well said.
Do
That's it. Do
like,
it.
Like go for it.
If you want to go golf barefooted,
Yep.
you do it.
Yep.
You do you.
Yep,
And
you
as
do
long
you.
as it's not slowing play or hurting anybody else in front or in back of you, you're fine.
Yep.
We are fortunate to have a president and CEO in Jared Lucero that supports our employees first. And he's very happy to go up to you and say, if you're unhappy, we're going to help you out and we're going to give you back your money. Here you go.
Yep.
And I can tell you, whenever it's come up, we're ready to do it. We've had a couple of people that their life has changed. We had someone that had a family member that got diagnosed with cancer. We've had 2 or 3 that have had real life reasons why they can't continue on the path for Marcella. And technically, per the membership agreement, you have to pay dues for a year. You have to wait 1 in 5 as we sell memberships. The nice thing is we have people on a waiting list. So we've given back their deposit and we've just taken people off that waiting list and made people very, very happy.
Yeah, I would have to say, so I've had, personal meetings with Jared. He's awesome. I mean, I've been in Park City for over 22 years, worked at every development, Tuhey, Promontory, Red Ledges, Victory Ranch, name it. You have to deal with, a lot of the staff and the upper management with what we do. And I would say it's great being able to have that access. I mean, he's a busy guy. It's not like just call him and have access, but when you do have that time, he really gets what we're doing with that community. Like
Right.
He understands it. He's a golf guy. I would say you can tell he cares passionate about, he takes it personally with all the services. You can tell all the employees love him. I went down to the Reef Summit during the LPGA tour. Fantastic. That's getting where he's bringing, maybe you can get in a little bit, but members are invited. He's bringing investors down. He's really just trying to show off and say, hey, this is what we're doing. Let's all come together and have a good time. And we want to do it
Thanks
right.
for bringing up the Reef. It's kind of the Reef Club is what we're calling
Reef
it.
Club.
So if you own at any of our properties, or if you're an investor, or if you're on the board of any of our, or not, like Marcella has an advisory board. If you're in any of those positions where you're kind of part of that Reef family, then you're part of the Reef Club. And we will send you whenever we're having special events, or if there's any investment opportunities, or if we're doing a release of properties at Cut-Along or at Cornerstone, you're going to be among the first people to know. And that's a big deal, especially for Cut-Along, which is one of the best hidden treasures just south of D.C. That whenever we start bringing those things live, our members and our friends of Reef are going to be the first ones to know. So it's one of those friends and family deals, and he's very big on the friends at taking care of people that have basically created what Reef is. Without those early investors during the downturn, they were hard money lenders, and you know how hard that could have been. They never they could have just at some point just given up. They stayed with their investors. They stayed with the people that they had borrowed money from or had borrowed money from them, and they made their way through it and have built from that because these people now trust Reef with their funds and with their hopes and dreams and aspirations. It is a wonderful organization to be part of, and I'll be a member of that Marcella Club until I die.
Yeah, I agree. Me being a member myself, I think there's a huge amount of collaboration. There's a lot of communication, which in a lot of clubs you don't see. And I
maybe
think
too much. I don't know. I send out a lot of stuff.
I mean, I love it. I love it. Getting a little ding, looking at the text, seeing, it's like you can't attend everything, but it's great that,
but
there's
what's going on.
You know what's going on. You know what's happening. Like you said, I did a event that this was probably last year where, you took a group of members and investors to Pinehurst. That was one of the best golf experiences I've had. Very well orchestrated. I mean, Jared's mom was there every day helping. It was phenomenal, like getting to meet her and how involved she is and, believes, helping her son and believes in what he's doing. And that just made that experience so much more special.
The first one, Cut Along, they received that during that downtime. And they went to it and realized what a hidden gem was, that it was. And then when they started redoing it and when they built Black Desert, they really realized how good they were at building golf courses and running golf courses. And that's where it's grown from there. And now we're looking, people now call Reef asking if they would partner with them. So we've become very picky now with what we look at. I don't know if you know anything about Sweetens Cove, but it's one of those places that
I heard about it.
Yeah, people like you. If you know, and you go there, and that's the best time you've ever had in your life.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about that with Ryan, so that's definitely on my list when that trip's coming up.
And you do get to go because we will do member trips there. Yep. Same as we did. We take members every year to the Masters. Where you just got back, we took did a couples trip to Napa for wine tasting and golfing.
I missed that one. That would have been a good one.
That was a good one. We'll do that one again because it was so well received.
Yeah. So talking about what is great. So you guys have already hired a director of golf for Marcella, Brock, which he was down there at the summit. And so getting to meet him, he actually took myself and another member out for a private round at Black Desert. And talk about, a year ahead of time already having that involvement, that engagement with the director of golf. I mean, to me, that's that building culture thing that is so important.
I'm an accountant at heart. And whenever we started talking about what the right time was to bring on staff, Jared has known Brock for many years, and he said, I want to get Brock in. And I said, great, let's get him in, January 2026. And he's like,
right now.
How about right now?
Yeah, I think it's been great.
It has been. I've actually, members come up to me all the time and say, you guys do more events, and I feel more connected to this club that is a non-operational club, nobody's paying dues, than they do at their home courses.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask the question. I think we probably, maybe this is a stupid question now, but I have this down. So it's, what is the aha moment when most potential buyers realize Marcella's for them?
I tell it's an easy one. Okay. I don't even have to think about it. So I can talk to you all day long about the fabulous amenities and everything we're going to have and what we have that no one else is going to have. And I can promise you that it's going to be at a certain level, but it's just a promise from me.
Yeah.
We still have to build it.
You are Beth Armstrong.
I am Beth Armstrong. That's right. And I usually deliver. But I never have anybody that is capable and interested that I send up to do one of those golf tours that ever call me back and say, yeah, that's not for me. It's just captivating and spectacular and awe-inspiring. And there really will be no other golf course like it in the world.
Yeah, I believe. So that goes to the next kind of thing here is, right now, Marcella is generating probably the most excitement for a new development in Park City. Why don't you tell us some of the exciting events that are coming soon.
Okay.
What can we look forward to?
Let's see. On the 4th of July, we have our reserved seats
Okay.
on Main Street for the parade. We also have a brunch that's being put on by Le Depot. That's one of our joint
I saw
ventures
that.
right there.
I was invited to that. Thank you.
Yes, you were invited to that. We also have just coming around the corner that opening of that Main Street space and that 4th floor. It's going to be a members only, not fancy, but a place that you're going to go and you're going to have burgers and dogs and grilled food, and you're going to sit out on the deck and enjoy a summer afternoon on the biggest deck in downtown Park City.
Yep, that'll be fun.
That's coming right around the corner. We have the 5th of July golf lot preview, which is we've got over 150 members that are going to be coming and participating. We have food truck and an ice cream bicycle. I don't know, haven't quite figured out what that really is yet, but he's going to come up and give us gelato. And then we're going to have just a couple of presentations, some live music, and then everybody's just going to go out and get tours of the golf course and all the holes that are finished.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm going to be there for that for
Good.
sure. I mean, I've been up on property several times. We have about 8 clients already that are kind of signed up with the 4C group. We're going to do the architecture, interior design, construction for them. So as part of that service, what we've been doing, because nobody knows what, lot they're going to be able to get yet. So we've been going up, kind of walking all lots, talking about with clients, what are their wishes, dreams, views, no views, golf course, privacy, how big a house do you want? And we're kind of helping them kind of pre-select what type of lot they want. Right. So depending on what order they're in, we can say, hey, if you're 30th in the line, let's maybe kind of pick out 10 lots that might suit your need. And then at the time that comes up, well, let's list them out 1 through 10 or whatever. And if lot 5 is available, boom, you get lot 5. You can feel confident about that decision and move forward with that purchase.
And you also can be confident because you still will see all the other releases and you get a one-time upgrade.
Okay.
So it's not a forever pick.
Let's talk about that because I don't think everybody, this is a little bit for members, but I don't think everybody understands the one-time upgrade.
So whenever we just decided, because it is hard and we are releasing 140 lots at one time. 38, yeah. Okay, you and your round number.
I have to be exact because I have the map, so we have to have all the numbers there. So
we're going to release those first, and that's a lot of due diligence. Even though we're giving you 3.5 months to do it, it's a lot to go look at. I tell people to pick a neighborhood because in a specific neighborhood, there are going to be 10 lots that have the same view, basically. Yep. They're going to feel the same. It's going to be, so instead of picking a lot, pick an area and then pick 2 or 3 areas. And then if something comes up in that area, then you could pick that. And again, if you later during the next phase, which will be 80 lots, or the next phase, which will be hopefully another 100 or 200 lots, then you will be able to decide if another lot is better than the one you picked. But I can't say we did the same thing at Black Desert. Almost nobody ever upgrades.
Yeah, everybody's
because you start the process and you get your architect and you start loving your lot and you fall in love with where you are. It's like when kids get accepted to a college and it's not the college that they wanted first choice. They end up having the best time of their life because we always end up where we're supposed to be.
Yep.
You do fall in love with where you are.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point is like once you've made that decision, purchase it, it becomes emotional, right? It's going to be your house.
Yeah.
You start to believe in it, start to see the vision and
you start going planting little flowers and
go up there every day and do that. So let's talk a little bit about what do you see the vision for Marcella over the next 5 years?
5 years is easy because that's going to be that it's a steep building period. It's a pretty steep uphill. The Marcella Lodge will be coming on board. We'll already have that Main Street Lodge, which is the downstairs part of Main and Sky. That's right there in that courtyard area right behind Courchevel Restaurant. We'll have the 4th floor sky deck open. Already Le Depot is open and getting great reviews. Then you'll also have other things getting started, like the first things that we're going to build on the golf course side will be the comfort station, which is, when you say comfort station, you think, some candy bars and soda in a bathroom. This will have a chef cooking tacos and food for you and have stuff ready whenever you walk in the door, and your special adult beverages and ice cream and anything you can imagine will be in that comfort station, and it'll be restaurant style where you can just stop and stay there. Somebody's going to pass you if you do that, but that's okay. You expect it, and you'll just make your way in, because remember, we have 500 members for 218 in a short course.
So it sounds a little bit like, a Black Desert, right? You have the comfort station that's on the
Oasis.
There, the Oasis. Similar to that?
Very similar to that. Yeah. Very similar to that.
Very great experience. I mean, like you say, you can go up, order. There's somebody there cooking live, tacos this.
Yep.
Or just snacks, drinks, TV's playing, hang out.
That's exactly it. Yeah. And then we'll also start that we won't do the golf clubhouse first. We're actually, the first clubhouse will be the family clubhouse, because we will have had the comfort station built. We're going to build the training facility off the driving range, and we'll also build the pro shop. So we feel like we're taking care of our golfers. Now we want to take care of our families, and then we'll do the centerpiece of the development will be that golf clubhouse. It's going to be a beautiful building that's being designed by Olson Kundig. The interior decorating is done by A&B, and we really love what they've created. It's all but finished.
Beautiful.
It's truly beautiful. Over on the ski side, you only have that Marcella, the Mountain Lodge. We also have those 50 townhomes that are being built. Those only come with a ski membership. They cannot be upgraded, mostly because those are a ski product. There were some very fancy people that have bought in those townhomes. So
NDA signed.
Yes, that's right. So they are the ones that want to come. Those are your skiers. They want to come. They want to have a unit. They can come for 2 weeks, lock it, and leave it. Those units will not be rented, although they can be. What will be rented is Reef's other project, which is Cormont, 327. No.
This one I don't know. I'm not involved in this one. So
47 buyable condos.
Yep, ski side.
On the ski side, but they are above 100,000 square foot of retail space. That is going to be the centerpiece of that East Village. It'll have an ice ribbon in the middle. There's going to be an amphitheater. It's going to have 11 restaurants. Wow. So that's Reef is building and selling those condos units and selling the retail space for Extel to run.
Okay.
So that's going to be a very special anchor to that Deer Valley East Village. All of our members, of course, will have access to all that. And then they will have that. Only our members have access to that Mountain Lodge. And then we also obviously have everything, all the amenities on the other side. So real quick, the anchor to the golf course side will be, we're calling it Central Park.
Okay.
In the middle of Central Park will be a pond surrounded by the short course. And then surrounding the short course, you can either start from the golf clubhouse or you can start from the family clubhouse. There's also going to be a spa and a fitness facility.
Fantastic.
I know. On the other side of the golf clubhouse will be the only indoor year-round tennis, pickleball, and padel. As far as second home communities.
That one I didn't know about.
Yeah.
So indoor tennis and pickleball.
Yeah, it's going to be, a matter of fact, when you come up on the 5th, we're going to have, we finally got Harris Kalinka has created a video of the entire project, and it will show you that it's called the Racket Club. And that's another one of those that's going to be built pretty quickly. And I fully anticipate it's going to have a viewing area so we can do tournaments there, and a really spectacular building, really focused toward those racket sports, but also there'll be like a juice bar in there and things that you're going to want to go in there, and you're going to want to go and sit down and watch people play.
Yep.
And we'll have outdoor tennis and pickleball as well.
Do you see a lot of that in maybe that 5-year time frame, or is that kind of...
Everything I just talked about is going to be in that 5-year time range.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So,
and I think what we're really hoping is before the end of the summer that we'll get a 5-stand built, because that clay shooting's really very, very popular. In the winter, we'll have the snowshoeing and the snowmobiling. You won't be able to bring your own snowmobiles. We do it just for safety purposes. That's one of those good ones. Yeah.
Don't want people coming out of their garage with their own snowmobiles.
No. You will be allowed to purchase one of the rocker golf carts from us that
Okay,
to
so you can
choose
have the
around.
golf. Okay.
Yeah. So
Is that going to be able to be used on the golf course, or is
TBD,
that,
but I think no. But you will be able to use it to get back because we don't want you to get out on hole number because we can't make sure that it's.
Yeah, you can't check it.
We
make
can't
sure the
check
bat-
every
that-
one of
yeah,
them, right?
Yeah, that
So-
makes sense.
Yeah, it just keeps people from being stranded out on number 7.
But I think that's for me, being in a golf community, that's one of those amenities that being able to have a golf cart and kind of driving around, that's what makes it fun.
It is fun. Yeah,
So-
especially these carts because they're very manly, like this set.
Okay, good. We call it bro-ish. It's a bro-ish cart. Yeah.
It's a bro-ish cart, like the set.
So with all that, I mean, you've been around the luxury development for a long time. Obviously at 4C, we're all about collaboration. We do the architecture, interior design, construction. Where do you see, with your experience and kind of what we do with our all-in-one model, what do you see? This is our plug for 4C, right? But
Yeah, sure. But
where
a,
do-
but
what-
a
what do you see
warranted
that-
one.
Yeah. Where do you see that advantage, right, for these clients? Like you say, as we just discussed, most of these clients don't live here. So you've gone through it, and I'm sure because you get to deal with the members all the time. You don't just talk about membership. You get to talk about their experience in building and construction and all these things. So you've heard it all before. Where do you see an advantage for somebody like the 4C group in a development like this, especially as it's brand new and us having experience in the market over the last 20
Whenever
years?
you say experience in the market, that's probably number one. And your customer service. Never have I had anybody tell me they've had a horrible experience with your group.
Oh, well, thank you.
Ever. And that's the truth. And you can pay me later.
Yeah.
But truly, there's a lot. We have what we call our trusted vendor list. And obviously you're on that trusted vendor list. And it's called that because we're not just giving you a list of vendors. We're giving you people that we actually recommend. And then it becomes our reputation.
Yep.
On the line. And there are some groups that want to be in so badly, but they have never built in the mountains. And you know that's key because it's a different animal. They've never built in Wasatch County or Summit County. That's a different animal. So you just have to have that experience like you do, that it's the customer service, it's the experience, and it's also that personal touch that you provide, and it's that one-stop shopping. I don't have to go out and I don't have to find an architect. I don't have to find a designer. I don't have to find a builder. You guys are all just one stop in-house, and probably, I don't shop architects and builders because I've lived in the same house for 20 years. But I do feel like that's what people want, is that one person that they can trust, that they can pick up a phone call and say, this is not going right, or talk me through this.
Well, yeah, they don't want to hear about as we call it, the client doesn't want to see how the sausage is made.
At all.
So we just make it happen, and there's no finger pointing. And basically, if there's any issues, we just take care of it. Yeah. And so, one thing that's been awesome that with the Marcella, development is we've been able to get in with the clients very early. And I think during the slot selection phase, like I've probably been up on property 20 times now, right? With clients looking at lots, this, that, working with the sales team, obviously talking to you, and if anybody has any questions, we're more than happy to help them go through that process. Because what we want is every client to feel comfortable with that decision and what lot they're purchasing. Because like you said, you don't want that to be a stressful experience. But, Marcel, this is a unique thing where you basically have a waiting list of 500 people.
Yeah.
They're going to buy lots, and there's going to be a period of what you have to make a decision, unlike, an existing development where you can kind of go and shop at your leisure.
Right, or things will come on as resale and you can just wait. I have people that say, I'm not sure I'm ready. I'll come back whenever people start reselling.
Yeah.
Well, that could be 10 years from now,
you
but
don't know. Yeah.
Be patient because it probably will happen. A little bit about that process of releasing those lots. So on Monday, that's the day I've been told, we'll send out an email that says, it'll come from me and the principal at Raintree, which is Cody Winterton, and it'll say this is the link to your individual access to our lot selection website, and whenever it's your turn, it gets turned on. It doesn't get turned off after 2 hours, although you have 2 hours that it's all yours.
It's all you.
It won't get turned off. It stays on. So you can go back in 2 weeks from that time and pick, but somebody else gets their 2 hours after that and 2 hours after that. So they can be picking. So if that's where it comes to, if that lot that you've picked ahead of time is there, pick it. Go ahead. Just, take the plunge.
I agree. And that's why we're trying to do all this due diligence months ahead of time.
Months ahead. That's why we gave the 4 months.
Yep. And I think that's great. And that's something new. And, we've had to adapt to that kind of process. And I think it's been fantastic. And it's really helped us understand that development even more.
It's a little bit different than the way some developers do it, where they have those neighborhood releases and everybody comes to this big party and there's drinks and food, and then you go out and you pick your lot. You don't know anything about that lot. You just know what you've seen.
Yep.
So we felt like this way was if it gives you enough time that when you finally pick the lot, you're pretty sure this is the lot you want.
Yep. Do you have your lot picked yet?
I've told everybody, we do the first 350 people.
Yep.
Or I'm 351.
You're 351.
I'm 351.
Well, when you're ready, we'll go out and help.
I know you will. I know you will. I appreciate that.
Yep. So I have a couple of, I call them lightning.
Gotcha questions?
Like lightning round questions. These are just kind of fun, right? So what's your favorite place in Park City to relax?
My back deck. But if it's outside of that, I love going to Main Street. Roger and I, my husband, he's actually a county councilman for Summit County. We love going and walking down Main Street because we will see 30 people we know. And it's like where we can go and we can visit and we can walk and we can visit. For me personally, fly fishing on the Provo.
I didn't know that. That's something new I know now, fly fishing.
Love fly fishing, love through hiking. I'm an 18-mile-a-dayer. I hike something daily just to keep going. And on the first chance I get, I go up Timpanogos, but that's not relaxing to some people, but it really is my zen.
Good?
It is good. That's what I do.
Well, that's good. That's healthy. What's one thing every new Park City resident should know?
They need to know about every nonprofit in town because that's how you get involved. So do your work. Go to the Park City Community Foundation, and they have the whole list of every single nonprofit in town, and you'll find something that interests and motivates you to get involved.
And you're probably at 80% of those.
I'm currently on 7. I've been at almost every nonprofit in town.
I feel like every time I go to a nonprofit, like we were just at Habitat for Humanity and you're at the table next door.
See, most people are only there when they're running for office. I've been there for 20 years.
You're always there.
Yeah.
What's one tradition or event that makes this community special?
Oh, 4th of July parade and the Miners' Day parade. 4th of July and Miners' Day in Park City are Americana. There's nothing at any place I've ever lived in my life that's more like Mayberry. You go there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's pretty special. The flyover will be at 10:45 on the 4th of July, and then the parade starts, and then there's a party in City Park after. That doesn't happen everywhere. And then later in the evening, if you're at Promontory, you see the fireworks or Glenwald or Park Meadows or Canyons. The Canyons does the drones.
Yep.
We were going to try and do the drone show this year out at Marcella, but to keep people up there until dark, especially because it doesn't get dark till 8:45, that felt dangerous.
That's a lot. That's a lot when you don't really have anything up there. So I agree with that.
So next year we'll have drones.
Yeah, and I agree with the 4th of July. 4th of July in Park City, that's kind of the day to be here. So
and then like in the winter season, it's opening day and closing day of Deer Valley.
Yep. I'm always a fan of opening day, maybe not as much closing day.
I do both.
Ready for golf by then.
Yeah,
so.
No, this year it was warm.
Well, now that we have Black Desert, I feel like I'm always that's a tough one. That's a tough one. So you guys have done such a good job down there.
Thank you.
Most inspiring person you've ever worked with?
Well, I'm most inspired by my husband. But I don't technically work with him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take him out of the equation.
So remove Roger.
He's because he doesn't count. And in all honesty, I'll tell you, it's Jared Lucero because of his vision and the way it's his ethos. It's the way he lives his life. He lives and breathes hit family first, which is important because if you have if something's going on, you call him. I'm inspired by his work ethic, which is, like, to your point, he's a very busy man, but I'm positive he doesn't get more than 4 hours sleep a night.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I mean, for what the vision he's brought to Park City golf and ski, it's amazing.
It's inspirational.
So it
truly
is for sure. And like I said, I feel privileged to be a part of it, be a member, to be invited. So that thanks
You're
to
welcome.
you. And thank you. So let's see, advice. So I like to ask for a couple pieces of advice. So advice to the 4C group. You've known us for a long time. How can we provide the best experience for our clients from the perspective of a membership director? What advice would you give us to help?
Yeah, that's great. I think because that's the first thing people ask normally to me is if they really are planning on building fairly soon, they always ask if we have a list.
Yep.
What I would recommend is that you, as you've been doing, you come to those events. Come to July 5th. Meet everybody you can. I introduce you to everybody you can, not because I'm pushing specifically you, but because I'm trying to give them access to people that they can interview and then decide on their own. You guys have been more involved than anybody else.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I like to sell with conviction, and I love that lifestyle. I feel fortunate that I've been able to grow a business, that I've been able to be a part of, clubs like Promontory and now Marcella. And for me, that's great. And I do it because I love what I do and I love the people. And to me, nothing makes me happier than helping those people fulfill that vision
right.
for what they're doing.
And I think you have to, and I think that that's the way to look at it, is that you're not doing them a favor, but you're literally being of service.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great, and I have no problem providing my vision for, design and architecture. So
right.
That's fun for me.
It is fun. It is.
I would do it for free if I could, but I can't. So we do have to charge.
Everybody should be paid for their value. I'm a big believer in that.
Yeah. Okay. So final question here. What advice would you offer to woman leaders entering the luxury real estate and development sector, since it seems like you are the best at that in Park City?
It's very kind of you. Just, be bold. Don't be afraid to stand up to anybody to give your opinion. If you believe it, if it's in your heart and you believe it's true, just stand up for it. And I do it. Ask Jared, by the way. Yeah. He'll tell you, I have no qualms in saying, I hear you, but I don't think it's right. And so be willing to challenge. They're not going to look at you and say, oh, you challenged me, I'm going to demote you. Or that's just never going to happen. And we don't have to prove ourselves because we're women. We've proven ourselves because we're in the room.
I agree. And I think you made a comment as before we even started the podcast is a lot of the time in this industry, and where you're in the development side of it, you're the only female in the room. I have 2 daughters and I'm trying to give them that confidence is like, your opinion is just as valid as everybody else's opinion. So I think that's an important.
I grew up the youngest of 4, and my dad owned a steel company. And I was the one that my dad was certain that he was going to leave the company to, because I was one at 11 trying to learn how to drive the 18-wheelers. So I just think my recommendation whenever anyone is trying to create raise a strong woman is let them do everything.
Yeah.
Nothing is, oh no, you're a girl, you shouldn't do that. Let them do everything.
Well, I'm going to go shooting with my daughters for the first time in 2 weeks. And that was their idea. They're like, Dad, we want to go shoot. I'm like, let's go. That's going to be
right
awesome.
Down here?
Yeah, Park City Gun Club. So.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, well, so that's it. Thanks, Beth. This was amazing. I would say in the comments, once we post it, we'll put all the contact information for Marcella. Obviously, if you want to get on the waiting list, call Beth and she'll make you a spot. You're going to have to get a ski membership. And then don't forget, if you like this podcast, hit subscribe, and we thanks for viewing.
Awesome. Thank you.
Let's do it. Yes.
Man. Awesome.
Boom. It's a wrap. How was that, Case?